Hi guys, so I hope you're all doing fine wherever you are. Today I decided to make this vlog in the car intentionally because today it's 2 years since I got my driving permit. It's 2 years since I've been driving in Italy, and that means that officially, according to the law, I'm no longer considered a new driver. So yay! Basically what that means, guys, is that so this is how it functions here. Like, when you get your driving permit, for the first 2 years you're considered a new driver, and when you're a new driver you have strict speed limits. For example, when you go driving on the highway, you are not supposed to exceed 100 kilometers per hour. And then the most stressful one is when you go to pay for car insurance. Normally, insurance companies tend to charge new drivers a higher fee for insurance because it's believed that new drivers are the ones that tend to cause the most accidents. I tend to disagree with this completely because, according to what I've seen, most of the accidents, at least around here, are caused by people who have been driving for a longer time, those that are considered old and expert drivers, because usually they tend to be more relaxed when they're driving. They tend to, the more you, I mean, like, for new drivers, normally when you've just gotten your driving permit, you tend to be so careful when you're driving. You tend to respect speed limits because partly you're scared, you're not so confident, and also because you tend to remember all the laws and the strict regulations. So personally, I think most of the accidents are caused by people who have been driving for a longer time. So anyway, after 2 years you get to pay normal fees for insurance. Then another thing is that when you're a new driver, there's certain cars that you're not supposed to drive. It depends on the engine size and the cubic capacity. So when you graduate and you get to pass 2 years, you can actually get to enjoy these benefits. That is not so important for me because personally I don't intend to change or to go looking for a new car. My gray monster has been with me for the last 2 years. She's been so loyal. She's been with me through thick and thin. So I'd feel like if I went to get a new car, I'd be like, turning my back on her, and I don't intend to do that. I intend to stick with her until she asks for retirement. So yeah. So I'd like to share my driving experience here in Italy with you guys. When I first came from Uganda, I had a driving permit, but unfortunately it was not valid in Italy. So that meant I had to do everything afresh. I had to go back to driving school. I had to start with the theoretical bit and then the practical bit. I had to go do the tests and then to see whether I was qualified for a driving permit. It was not easy, you guys, because I didn't know a single word in Italian. That meant I had to give myself 2 years to try to learn the language, to get the basics of the language, because as you may know, Italian is not a very simple language. But then anyway, the first 2 years I had to take the passenger seat. I had to use public means, and in a city as small as Rimini, it can be really inconveniencing because unlike big cities like maybe Milan or Rome, buses and trains and tend to pass after a few minutes. Here it's like during weekdays after every 1 hour or 40 minutes, and then weekends it's quite sad. So I had to use public means. There are no metros in Rimini, so either buses or trains or bicycles or just wait for someone to give me a lift. It was not so simple. And then for a mom, it's extra difficult because with a kid, and when it's winter, it's not so easy, you guys. But thankful enough, I was alone. I hadn't yet, given birth to my son. So yeah, I had to take 2 years. And then when I went to driving school, you guys, 99.9% of the driving schools here teach in Italian. So if you don't know the language, you're not going to go to driving school because you're not going to understand anything and you're not going to pass your exams. Anyway, I did everything and then I went for my theoretical test, and thankfully I scored 38 out of 40, so I got promoted. I was excited because even for the native Italian speakers, they can testify to you that it's not so easy to go to driving school than to go to take your exam and then to pass immediately. Not that I'm blowing my own trumpet, but you guys, it was not easy and I made it. So I was super proud of myself. And then came the practical bit of everything. I took a bit longer because my Ugandan driving permit is automatic. So that means I could only drive automatic cars. And it's not easy in Italy because most of the cars here are manual. Automatic cars do exist, you guys, but they cost like almost double the price of a normal manual car. So I had to start learning how to drive a manual car. And for most of you guys that know how to drive both, can understand that when you've been driving an automatic car for a long time, it's not so easy to drive a manual car. So I kept getting confused, the clutch, the accelerator, the brake, balancing, and everything. So it took me about 3 months of driving school to finally get ready for the driving exam. And then when I went for the test, I was lucky enough to get my permit. So after getting my driving permit, I had to, face the reality of having to drive alone in the car without my instructor. You guys, it wasn't easy. I had to take the peace sign and stick it at the back of my car, which in English would mean the L for learners. And not everyone is so patient, with new drivers. You're driving and then you stall the car in the middle of the road, and then people are so angry because some are rushing to work, others are tired from work, and then people pass and give you this, mean look, or others even throw insults at you. But it has been an interesting experience. And then also, for one who has come from like an English speaking country where we tend to keep left when driving, here people keep right when driving. So you can imagine, you guys, I don't even know if I'm going to ever drive when I go back to Uganda, because I'm just, I don't want to go through the hassle again. But anyway, it's interesting right now. It's nice to get into your car, to drive, to go to whatever place you want to go to without having to wait for someone, or without having to wait for the bus and then everything. But that doesn't mean that once in a while I do use public means. For the major part of the time, I use my bicycle because it's a small city. If for some of you who have watched my previous videos, I mentioned it. Rimini is quite a small city, and you can get along on foot, by bicycle easily without having to take the car. But when it gets cold like this, or for mothers, sometimes it's inevitable to use a car. Anyway, you guys, let me know your driving experiences wherever you are, so that we can laugh about it together. Thank you all for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. If you have any comments, any kind of suggestions or pieces of advice, do let me know. It would be nice to hear from you. Please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. That would really mean a lot to me. And till next time, do take care. Love and lots of kisses.